bounce. What's going on? This is Shango Ray, aka Real Dilio. This is it, Ray. Okay. I wanted to take a quick minute and say that I wanted to actually thank everybody who joined the Unfinished Business Ritual. Give them their props. A lot of you, let's keep it real, what you started by, removing these cords, obliterating these cords, there are after effects. Let's keep it real. And some of these are just not pleasurable, okay? But they are surmountable. You do got this. So don't get shook because you may feel a plethora of different things in your journey or journeys afterwards that you do what you do when you did what you did with the Unfinished Business Ritual. Case in point. So I basically, before I say the case in point, I want to just give you shots out. I wanted to give you your props. And encourage you. I wanted to encourage you. But some of you may need that. Maybe not now. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not next week. But full transparency, right? So I did the ritual with and for the participants. I also did my own work on there, but there was one thing I did not fucking do. I didn't do it. I'm going to do it though. Oh, I'm going to do it. But Spirit did also tell me, hey, buddy, yeah, you missed the most important part. You got to do that part. But I wanted to say this to whoever this might relate to, whoever this message resonates with at this particular time, place. You see, when you start doing these types of things, right, and you start shedding, dismantling, obliterating ties, binds, things from the past, people, situations, whatever, even old versions of yourself, being tied to old versions of yourself. There's what's famously known as the echo effect. Now, this echo effect can come into play like sometimes right after you do something. Sometimes it'll wait a little bit, let you think you licked it, you know what I'm saying? And then it'll come at you. It's like so. And what it is, I can describe what it feels like. Basically, you find yourself at a crossroads. And to one side, there's who you were, your past, maybe this person from your past, situation, circumstances, blase. And then there's where you want to go, where you say you want to go, where you know you want to go, where you know you should be traversing. You should be putting one foot in front of the other going that way. And maybe in the past you would have just opted for decision number one and just went back to the familiar. But you've been doing some work. You maybe had some space. And Especially when you start doing this, like I said, this unfinished business type work. This is more than just one ritual thing. This is something that you better get used to doing, because you're going to need to revisit that shit. I don't mean with the exact same case or with the exact same person, but there comes times to obliterate ties for things. There may be something in your life right now that you're going to need to obliterate that tie to in the year or two to come. But here's where it gets tricky. The sneakiness. I'm going to just start off by saying you are much better off, let's just say, making a mistake, or what appears to be a mistake, because you may find out it wasn't a mistake after all. You're much better off erring on the side of trusting your motherfucking self, your intuition, than erring on the side of if you doubted yourself. There's a whole other sting with that side. I don't know what it is with that shit, but you see, when you trust yourself, when you honor yourself, even when you're wrong, you're fucking right. Because you're trusting yourself. You're building those muscles. You know how many people out here don't trust themselves? How many people in your life you can look around that just, they don't even really know what that is? If you've worked and managed to secure, discover, build a relationship with yourself that involves trust, motherfucker, you better not get rid of that shit for nothing. Especially when you're at that crossroads and that echo wants to come. Because sometimes that echo comes in the form of a situation. Sometimes it comes in the form of a person. And that person will have you wanting to believe whatever. And what makes it tricky for a lot of people, it becomes a game of your intuition. What you know, no. Versus what you really, really want to believe is true. That's when it gets interesting, because that's when people fool themselves. And a lot of times our ego's involved in that, because we want to believe something about this other circumstance or situation or person, also because of the way it reflects on us in some form or fashion. Let's keep it real. But if you can hold your fucking ground, stay on your motherfucking square. Stay on your square. The square of you. The square of, look, I'm going to take a chance on myself, believing in what I believe. Is there a chance that I could be wrong? Yeah. So be it. I will eat that shit. Okay? I will fucking eat it. Give me a napkin. I will sop it up. And I'd much rather be wrong trusting in me than trusting in your motherfucking monkey ass. That's the attitude that you need to have. And as I mentioned before, it is possible to actually be wrong and right at the same time. But listen, this incarnation, this incarnation It's about choices, man. It's about choices. Each and every day, every second is a choice. Every second creates this whole tree branch effect, butterfly effect of what's coming from this particular choice and the choices that proceed from here versus the one you could have just made 2 seconds ago. And there's a version of yourself, a cosmic fingerprint, if you will, a cosmic doppelganger that made that decision. We will never know what happened with that. That's none of our business. Let them deal with that. Let your other you deal with that. You got to be focused, though, on what on what the fuck it is for you. And believe, and just because you trust yourself, please do not think motherfuckers are going to come with their pom-poms on. If anything, they're going to be trying to get you to not believe in yourself and believe whatever the fuck it is they're telling you. That's why this shit can be so complicated. When the rubber hits the road, sometimes this shit does not feel fucking good. Let's just face it, like there's just certain effects from certain choices that just do not fucking feel good. It's like the person who's dieting or changed their diet, and now like a lot of the good sweet junk food, like I can't have that until a certain day, or maybe not till next week or 2 weeks from now, whatever. And you're going to have times where them motherfuckers, them cravings are going to fucking hit. Does it feel good to know you're doing the right thing? It can. You can change it in your mind. That's where it's so powerful. That's where the alchemist is. But all in all, when you're going through them fucking cravings and shit, that shit don't feel good. When you got to turn away from somebody you would never turn away from, that shit don't feel good. When it was so easy before to say yes, because you wanted to. That's what you wanted to do. When a certain situation or circumstance or thing would pop up and you always took it, but now you know you cannot. Well, you can, but you're choosing not to because that's not who you are anymore. It's also a good sign, though, because you're moving more into that's not who I am. I'm this person now. When you go through intersections, right? Think of it spiritually. You're going through intersections, crossroads. How many intersections you go through in one trip? Just to go from where you're at to where you're going. You probably go through a lot of them, right? Such as it is in life. And through some of these intersections, you're going to get the opportunity to go left or right or straight or fucking flip a bitch, hit a U-turn. But your navigation is letting you know where you need to go. Time is an illusion. We know that. And on another hand, it's an illusion that needs to be respected. You only have so much time in this incarnation that you will experience. How about that? I think I broke that down pretty pimpishly, actually. You only have so much time. What the fuck you gonna do? Who you gonna be? That's the most important thing. Because the what comes out of the who. If you're having a problem with the what, or the how, you haven't dialed in on the who yet. You got to get deeper into the who. You got to dial into that who. Who? The who will never lead you wrong. That's another gem for you, in case you missed that one. I'll leave that one on the floor. If somebody walks by it and they want to pick it up, go right ahead. It's there for you. Trust your motherfucking self above all else. Be willing to even be wrong because you trusted in your motherfucking self. And don't let nobody tell you differently. That doesn't mean you don't have an open mind. That doesn't mean you don't ever listen to anybody. But when the rubber hits the road, the choice is yours as to what choices you are going to make, what moves you're going to make. And all those things say, who are you going to be? Who are you going to be right now? Is it who you say you choose to be? Is it who you say you want to be? And if not, then you need to really reassess that shit.